Adam Collingwood, Financial Traders Cafe. Your time now is, it's 8:45 on Friday, 23rd of March. This is a follow-up video. So if you haven't seen the previous one, please watch that one first. The whole purpose of the training is to tell you exactly what I'm looking at, the trades that I'm making, and then you can see what has happened next. So please, if you haven't seen it already, then go back and watch the previous video, which I recorded live earlier today, this afternoon. So at the time we had 3 trades. We had 2 on the DAX and 1 on Wall Street. So what I'm going to do is just recap on what I was looking at and those open trades and how they've performed. So you've got the before video and the after, and I think that's really, really important because when you're trying to help people with trading, it's very important to, with your coaching, certainly, I mean, I trade full time for a living, but if you are coaching people, it's important that you do show the trades setting up and what the results were at the end. So the 2 DAX trades, we had one which was selling the DAX at 11,928 and another one at 11,868. Now immediately you can see the time now is what is it? It's coming up to 9 o'clock or 8:45. And as I had predicted earlier, although the DAX and Wall Street, they were finding resistance at certain points, or sorry, I should say support at a certain area, which in this case was 11,945 on the DAX. The downward pressure was very strong, and although there was some rallying earlier, eventually it just collapsed, and so the DAX has dropped, and so has Wall Street. Of course, even though the DAX exchange is closed, it will still track on what Wall Street's doing. So we're going to start with the DAX, and then I'll go to Wall Street afterwards. So I deliberately left trades open. So and I just put a limit order in, which if you watch the previous video, I put a limit order in to sell the DAX once it hit 11,821. So I'd sold it at 11,928, okay, and then as soon as it hit 11,821, which was just down here, so you see the low there, I was waiting for it to hit that point again, which it did at what was that, 650. Okay, it still had a little bit more movement there. So I put a limit order to take profit there, which was over 100 pips. And I also then left the other DAX trade running, which I closed just before, which we'll have a look at in a minute, which was lower than the 11,821. So I left one of the trades running. I think it was 11,784. So so those 2 DAX trades have turned out nice and profitable for me. So the Wall Street trades, so it did that was what was pushing the DAX down as well. Now interestingly, I did, although we're looking at 3 trades that I did add a cheeky little trade. What had happened was, when if you watch the previous video, what was happening was the Dow was finding some support. So yeah, it's finding some support around this area here, so around the 23,860 area, and what it did is it bounced all the way back up to pivot. So when I was talking earlier, what happened was, instead of it coming back down through here, breaking through the support level, it rallied again up to here, so about 24 100. So what I did, this is a 10-minute time frame, so let's just go in on that 10 seconds. So the good thing is I can go into my calendar. So the great thing with IG is that it records in your trading diary the different trades that you have made, so, and even anything that you've put in a limit order, etc. So what I did was I sold, there's a minus on there, yeah, 24081, and that was at 609. So if we go back 609, we will see 609. To go back quite a distance here, this is a 10 second. Yeah, so you can see the price rallied all the way back up to pivot, and what I did is I waited and then I sold it as the price went through this area here. You see there? So that's where I sold, and I'll just show you again. So that was 609, and I sold at 24081. And what I did is I put in a limit order at 23860, so that I could bank 221 pips there. So I sold there. That's the great thing, you can see the timings of the trade. Sold there, and you can see then what happened next. Look at that. I mean, am I Nostradamus? No, I don't think so. I've just been trading so long now that you just got to take those trade setups, and I waited and with finger on the button, and I just took another cheeky trade, selling all the way down. Now I could have taken it, yeah, I mean a higher amount per point than what I did, but what I'm trying to emphasize with all this training is you can still trade small amounts, and we're trading often, and little and often is the motto here with day trading. So little amounts and trading often. Okay, other types of trades, then I have a different stance that I take with that. But here you can see just a small amount, especially with the big numbers at the moment. I mean, it's with the Wall Street being over 24,000, or it was over 24,000, dropping now. But you can see, so I sold there. So I had an opportunity to add to the trade, but what I was doing was I was adding from a strong position up here. Okay, so I sold off there, and of course I'd already had that existing trade open. So I let this one just run and run and run. As I said, I set a limit order in there as well, which was at 23,860. So as soon as the price came down and touched that point there, I banked the money. Okay, so I sold there, and by the time we got to, what was that, 648, so it didn't take long, did it? I mean, that's like within 40 something minutes it dropped by another couple of hundred pips, and you can see there was it closed. So I put a limit order in 23,860, and there you go. Order, the system, yeah, was automating so that I could close it at that limit order 23,860, and I'll show you how that looks on the profit and loss account shortly. All right, so that was another opportunity to sell that. Now going back to the other trade, which is where let's just close that down. What was the earlier one where I sold Wall Street? Yeah, here we are. So so I sold Wall Street at 24,006. Now, if you remember, so I sold it up here. I mean, somewhere. I mean, if you watch the other video, you'll see it's 24,006 that I sold it at. But if you remember in that previous video, what I did is I put in a limit order to take 400 pips if it dropped by that much, and that's a long way to fall. But that's what I said would happen, and this was. If you go back to it, you'll see that it was on the 10-minute time frame, and I said that it would. I was looking at a target of 23,000 and where was it? Here we are, 23,604. So you saw me actually put that order in to take profit there. So if you watch that previous video at 4:57, I edited the ticket, spread bet ticket, and where I had an open trade of 24,006, and I set a target of 23,605. And let's have a look when it hit 23,605. So it didn't get down to 23,605 until there, about 7:40. So let's just see, 23,605, and we'll just show you where that. There we go. Order system. So the system was instructed as per that to close the trade here. 24,081. That's where my stop was, 23,860. So I banked there all of that. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that one. It was a bit further on, wasn't it? That was the second cheeky little trade I did. There we are. Yeah. Sorry, 7:45. So the 23,604. Okay, that's where the profit was taken. So that took give me 400 pips there. And I left that, say I left the DAX trade open, so I had two Wall Street trades eventually, and then the two DAX ones. So if we have a look now, I'll go into IG, and we can see, let's go in and have a look at the trading history. So you would have seen in the previous video what trades had been closed, and now we've got another 4 to add to that following the trades made today. So as I said before, this is all about the recap. So if you remember earlier, we only had up to this point here, and now those 4 trades have been closed. So I had 3 open, and then I added that Wall Street one there. So here you go. That was the Wall Street one there was 24,081. Okay, let's have another look at it. Okay, 20. Let's go back to the 10 seconds again. Again, this is day trading. That's why we're looking at 10-second charts. But you can see how lethal this is. So there you go. So price ran it all the way up here. I thought, fantastic. There's no way it's going any further than that. I'm selling as soon as it crosses into here. So I get confirmation that it's being pushed back down. I sell there, 24,081 there, and 23,859, which is there. Okay, see on the side there, 23,860. I banked it 23,859, and that was because it hit the support line there. So that was one trade, a quick 222 pips. Let's have a quick look at the other Wall Street one, 24,006, and I said to you I was going to take 400 pips on that one once it hit 23,604. It's done there, and there you go. There's the 400 pips taken on that one. The DAX trade, 11,928. What I did is, if you watched the previous video, I said I was going to set a limit order to take that at 11,821. If we go to our trading diary, what we'll see in there is the limit order being hit there. So those are all Wall Street trades. There we go. So I put that limit order in 504 to take profit once it hit 11821. So what we're looking for now, see that was amended there. So I opened the spread bet ticket, put in 11821 to take profit, and there you go at 658, position closed, profit taken of 11821. And then the final one was, if you remember, going back to the previous video, the open was 11868. It went into negative territory for a little while as the DAX was jostling around, and then what I did is I didn't put a limited order in on that one. I just let that one run because I had limit orders. I said earlier in the previous video, I like to take profits on some of the trades by setting target points, and then I can leave others running. So that one I closed manually at 11790, and so let's go back to the trading diary, and you can see here I just closed that. There you go, position closed. I did that on my mobile phone. So brilliant. You know, you can. I mean, the information that this gives you is fantastic. So I know, you know, what closed my trade down. Did the system close the trade down because I put in an order? Well, yes, it did. In this case, on Wall Street, where it hit those 400 pips for me, and then on the DAX, I manually closed that with my mobile phone. Okay, which when it hit that 11790. So this is the thing. I mean, I could have let the that other one, instead of putting a limit order in, I would have probably got another 30 odd points there. But you know, it could have also bounced. I had a strategic position to set the target for. It still gave me over 100 pips there at £2 a point, and I had the Wall Street ones in the background. So what's this? The 23rd today. So you can see. How many trades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So see, little and often 8 trades, little trade sizes, okay, but often being 8 times. And you can see loss there, 1740. Little gains there, so I quickly closed the trade, so didn't fancy it. And then these other 4 ones all did nicely, so 500, 700, 900. I don't know, it was probably a grand or something there. Yeah. I think yeah, these were the ones from yesterday. Yeah, the smallish trades there yesterday. There's a few losing ones which I mentioned in the previous video, but nothing really compared to, you know, the profits here. The 130, 105, 233. Again today, 222, 215, 401, 156. So these small trades, little and often. Okay, and as I say, the trading diary is a good way of going back and just analysing what you did, why you did it. Well, I know why I sold or bought myself, but sometimes it's quite useful to analyse it, especially if you're first starting out trading. So so the beauty of this is that you know, Wall Street is, let's just move that to see what it's doing at the moment. Wall Street's been selling off massively, and the great thing is that we can take full advantage of that. So this is the DOW at the moment. This is a major support level here. So potentially we could see a bit of a rally on Monday, because it's Friday night now. We could see a bit of a rally on Monday. I suspect we would, unless there's any more bad news coming out. I say bad news, most of it's just like leaked. They'll tell you what they want you to hear, and the markets will fall. You know, the algorithms will be running, doing overtime. So that's all we're really doing, is we're just grabbing the coattails of the algorithms and milking as much profit as we possibly can. You know, I mean, if you can make, you know, like if you can make 600-700 pips in a day, just trading the DAX and the DOW, that's pretty good. But very different way to make money trading is day trading. I love it. It's not for everybody. Some people that I've taught are doing amazing at this now. But sometimes I think, you know, with different trading styles, day trading can be a bit too emotional for people. Be very calm and deliberate in what you're doing, and not to get phased at all. Always being complete control. Well, I hope you found this useful. As I said before, it's important to do the before and after, and tracking all the results. Important thing is to build up your trading account, and what I want to get across here is anybody can start with a small account and just build it up consistently, and just making those consistent profits on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So I'll continue to keep recording these. If you do want to get in touch, so some of you obviously already students watching this, but anybody else who is watching this and other media, I'll continue to keep broadcasting. If you want to get in touch, then please do so by emailing us, which is traders@financialtraderscafe.info, or adam@learnhowtotradeshares.co.uk. I do try to answer emails as often as possible. So imagine pretty busy most days trading, but I will always endeavour to reply as quickly as possible if you've got any queries. Okay, anyway, I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Okay, take care, happy trading.